Today on the Champ and the Chum podcast, we welcome trainer extraordinaire Jose Benavidez Sr. He is the trainer of the Mexican monster David Benavidez and Jose Benavidez Jr., star of Creed 3.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey man, how you doing?
Doing wonderful, man. Living the dream.
Congrats. Big victory.
Thank you, man. Super excited, super happy. That victory was a big satisfaction in our career, man. I can't tell you how much this fight meant for me and my family.
One thing weird about the fight, so I was a little shocked how a good amount of people who know boxing, right, were making it more of a 50-50, which I personally didn't see. You know what I mean? I thought David is a one in a million fighter in general, but specifically against Plant, I think he's a nightmare matchup. You know what I mean?
Man, I always said it. People said that I was crazy. That's why I talked a lot of shit, and I knew I had to back it up. I know what I have. I know what we've been doing. I've been studying Caleb Plant for almost 5 years, every day, man. And we had a plan. We executed the plan right. And we knew we would have to lose and give up and risk 4 rounds and then come strong.
Mm-hmm.
And the time was perfect. When David caught him to the body in the 4th round, in the 5th round, we came harder and harder and harder. And that changed everything. He had no legs. His legs disappeared.
Yeah. Hey guys, please subscribe and smash that like button. And if there's any fighters you want us to interview or anything else, any questions or comments, hit us up. We're here for you. I heard David say something afterwards. I'm curious. I was going to ask him, but I don't think I think he's just taking some time off. But he said something like he made some things he needs to adjust and make some adjustments. And do you know what exactly is he talking about that he thinks he maybe didn't do that well?
Well, in reality, I still watch the video. There's so many things that we had to do in order to perfect and get it right. We made a lot of mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm super happy. Don't get me wrong. You keep learning. He's only 26 years old. I think there's other things that we could have done to make it better. And we are back to the drawing board. We didn't lose, but a lot of people say that, we got to go back to the drawing board and reset and see what we did wrong. You're always going to have some things that are wrong, So we're coming back and adjust other things and see. But the plan was, make them get panic a little bit, make them think that you can throw big shots, make them think, that you're coming so he can move, and then touch him a little bit, so he can panic,
Right.
And then in the 4th, 5th round, that's when we're going to start working, And that was the plan, If you see, first David was throwing like wild punches. He would, he was there, like giving him confidence that he got hit a little bit, and there from the outside, and just making him move. And that was the plan, to make him move, so he can waste his energy without him knowing.
Right. And one thing that was very impressive was David's head movement and his defense, because a lot of people haven't had to really see him do that. But in this fight, he was showing really good head movement and against a really slick boxer, too.
Exactly. If you go back to my videos, I said, you guys are going to see a different David. He has a lot of people talk about flat-footed, no defense, and all that. I told him, no, we had to have the need because we have fighters that are coming forward, and we cut the ring, and he's ready to go and throw a lot of punches. Where Caleb Plant is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be able to do that because you can't hit a target that's moving. So we have to make sure he doesn't have any more legs, and then we can throw the combinations and throw more punches. You guys are going to see a lot of head movement. You guys are going to see how well he cuts the ring off and all those things. And people thought I was crazy. And people were saying that Caleb Plant was going to make him look like an amateur. And I never thought that. I was not panicking in the ring there. I knew the plan was going to work. And I was so confident that David was going to adjust and make those adjustments. And we were so confident that we were going to catch him and make him pay for all that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's, kind of what I said earlier. I don't know how anybody would think that it was a 50-50 fight stylistically. But, either way, how frustrated were you when because I think this fight would have probably, I think he would have been stopped, right? But the referee allowed unbelievable amount of holding. How frustrated that make
Yeah,
you?
that was the only frustration I had, holding, when he was about to attack, he will hold, and the referee, wouldn't say anything. And I told him, ref, he's holding, he's putting his hand out. You can't do that. That's illegal, But, at the end of the day, we can see somebody had to pay somebody, or something happened in there that he was protecting Caleb Plant. It was so obvious, it's not just me. Everybody knows what happened in there. And, he comes and hits him blow a couple of times, and he doesn't say anything, But he comes and says things to me about David, like, what the, I don't understand. And David had him hurt a couple of times, and he let him recuperate, And at the end of the day, I think he wanted to save him. He wanted to help him, and he made a mistake because he ended up in the hospital.
At one point, I forget which round it was, the referee warns David for holding, and I thought I was watching MTV Punk'd. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. He warned, you
Yeah.
remember that? He actually said something to David like, don't hold. And I'm like, what?
Exactly. That's why that's the frustration, because like we don't hold nobody, bro.
No.
We're a clean. David's a really clean fighter, man. He could have gone back and hit him in the balls again too, like he did, but he didn't do none of that. He was staying clean, very composed, and he was there to fight. And yeah, I mean, it's so upsetting that you have somebody like that, in a big fight like that.
Yeah.
I think they tried to help him as much as they could, but they couldn't do anything for him.
No, and the one thing that I found that seemed kind of pretty intentional, I'm sure you'll agree, is I think right after the first round that David visibly hurt him, he comes out and hits him low on purpose, really low.
Yeah.
Like
And,
I've been around boxing, so have you. That was pretty intentional.
and really low,
Yeah.
man. There were some other shots too that were really low. He would just take Caleb, keep him up. Like what the? That's like really low, bro. But at the end of the day, I'm happy David got the victory, and I mean, to me, I'm super satisfied, super proud of what he did, the adjustments he made, and at the end of the day, we didn't get the knockout, but he did go to the hospital. But at the end of the day, man, I don't want to talk bad about Caleb Plant. He's a great fighter, a warrior. My respects, and I like Caleb, man, and I just wish he's okay. He's gonna come back. He's a fucking true warrior, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back, and there's no doubt he's gonna be a world champion. He's very dedicated, very disciplined. He does have a lot of fucking skills, man. He's really good.
Yeah.
My only advice to him, I would say, he's very fast. I think he should just kind of combine that with a little bit of power. Sit on his punches a little bit once in a while.
Right.
That's the only thing I would say, But from there on, he has everything, bro.
Yeah.
He has everything to come back, and no shame, he did very well, man. He did really good.
Yeah,
And
I agree. I think he did show a lot of heart because even when he was, when his gas tank was almost empty, he was trying. He was trying to put combinations. He was taking some hard shots from David, the ones that were able to land clean when he wasn't holding. So it was impressive. He was more of a warrior, I think, than a lot of people thought, right?
yeah, my respect. That's why he got my respect. But that motherfucker would not go out without his shield, I think the corner wanted to stop it, and I think they should have stopped it because he did, at the end of the day, he did receive a lot of punishment that he shouldn't have taken, in order to be a little bit more fresh and have more fights in the future,
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a good few months for you. You have this victory. Your son just starred in Creed 3, right? Your other son. So
yeah, super excited about that. That movie is #1 around the world, and Dave Jr. has a very good a lot. He came out a lot, so super proud of him too.
yeah, quickly, how did that come about? How did you get that role?
Well, we know a lot of people, and they were asked looking for people, and that's how he got it. I mean, it's just funny how everything happened, in life. But the opportunity was there, and they will give it to him, and he took advantage of it. Dile que
Yeah,
estamos.
man, and he did a good job. He did a good job too. That's dope. So I guess, the question you're probably getting a lot, obviously, who is Canelo the only person you guys really want next?
No, we have a contract already for 3 fights, and that 3 fights is Bubu Andrade, David Morrell, and Charlo. Those are the guys that I mean, we're supposed to fight, but at the end of the day, we're open to whatever happens. This fight was a mandatory fight for Canelo Alvarez. We know that Canelo Alvarez is fighting John Ryder, no problem. He's going to beat him, no problems. After that, he has to fight David, and if he doesn't fight David, I think he's going to get stripped out of his belt. And if he doesn't fight David, and what's the name? Eddie Hearns is saying that he's going to fight the rematch with B-Ball, and he says that Canelo beat Caleb Plant in a fashion way. He says that he did better than David did. I mean, David sent him to the hospital, bro. How much more do you want? It was an exciting fight.
Yeah.
Canelo just hit him with one
Yeah.
shot, and they stopped the fight.
I agree.
So if you look at I just posted on my Instagram. We have the numbers. How many punches David landed? How many punches did Canelo land? So you can see it there, and you'll see on your own way. He says that B-Ball is an easier fight. He says that David's an easier fight than B-Ball. Well, if he's an easier fight, why don't you take David first, make all that money that you're not going to make with B-Ball, and then fight B-Ball?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So,
that wasn't
yeah,
that wasn't a close fight.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he was drunk or I don't know. I don't know how he can say those things. I mean, at the end of the day, David's a bigger fight than B-Ball.
Right.
That would be his biggest fight in his entire career at this point right now.
Yeah, well, so Canelo mentions the whole like not fighting a Mexican thing. Do you think that would apply since David is half Ecuadorian, right?
I'll tell you one thing: we'll fucking fight Ecuadorians, Mexicans, black, white,
Whatever.
Puerto Ricans. When you're a champion and you want to be a champion, you're gonna have to fight whoever deserves the opportunity. I think David proved that he belongs there. Everybody wants to see Mike Tyson, Barrera, Chavez, Floyd. Everybody wants to see the fight. All the greatest, want to see this fight. So when the greatest want to see this fight, it's gonna make a good fight.
I hope
And that's why I think it will be the biggest fight of this era
it'll
right now.
be huge. But well, do you think? So if you had to bet right now, do you think Canelo would take the fight?
I don't think he's going to take the fight. If I had Canelo, I would say, fuck no. Stay away from David. Let them strip you. Let them get all those belts away. Don't fucking fight David.
I agree.
But at the end of the day, he's going to have a chip all over his shoulders, and he's not going to be able to sleep because everybody's going to tell him, hey, David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. I don't know if I would take that if I thought I was the true pound for pound, the best at 168.
Yeah, I don't think he'll take it either. So how much long? So David is going to do these 3 fights, and do you see him staying at 68, or you think he'll jump into light
Well,
heavy?
we have a lot of options now. Like I said, the contracts for 3 fights. If they offer me right now, the real fight that I really want to get would be Bivol to have that revenge against Canelo and Zurdo Ramirez. This will be the third Mexican, that Bivol will fight. So that will be another huge fight, for David. Bivol against David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, and we'll have the revenge against these 2 guys.
How many fighters do you train total?
Right now, I have the Mexican monster, Jose Benavidez Jr., Diego Pacheco, El Rayo Valenzuela, Federico Pacheco, the brother of Diego Pacheco, and Daniel Blancas. Right now, the ones that are coming up right now.
Okay, and you have a long history in training. You worked with Freddie Roach, right?
I was Freddie's assistant for almost 4 years. I went with the Diaz brothers in Coachella for like another 2 years, and then I went with Robert like for another 2 years, and I end up with Abel Sanchez and Big Bear for like another 3 years. So I learned nothing from the best. My respects, and hey, I'm representing the people that my mentors and the people that I follow, and I'm some days I kind of took a little bit of everybody. In my mind, I think sometimes I turn into Abel Sanchez. Sometimes I turn a little bit into Freddie Roach, and the way that they were moving their fighters, So I learned a lot from these people, some of the best, and I'm thankful, and thanks to them, I'm where I'm at right now.
Yeah. I mean, what was your background quickly? Like, were you a
I
fighter
didn't
as
know
well?
nothing about boxing. I didn't know nothing about boxing. My mom and my dad separated when I was 2 years old. They left me in Mexico. I used to eat dirt. I was so poor, man. Leaves in order to go to sleep so my stomach would not growl. So I came to the United States when I was 11 years old. David was born when I was like about 15, 16, junior, I think. I'm sorry, junior. When I was 15, 16, had to work, had to hustle, had to do what I had to do. in order to provide food for him and a roof. And until I was like 26, when David was like 20, I mean, David was like about 6 years old. That's when I discovered boxing. I fell in love with boxing. I felt passionate about it, and I'm still super motivated to keep learning.
Did you ever have any fights yourself?
Never. I didn't know nothing. I never lace up no gloves. I never, but like I say, I dedicated myself and looking a lot of film and watching, and I'm so dedicated to boxing that every day I'm learning something, and I keep learning every day.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
But
and
I
it
did
looks
not
like,
know zero. I didn't know nothing about boxing.
there's a couple there's one other, you and I think Joe Goosen are the two guys who are, world championship level trainers who have never fought before. So it happens.
But I think when you're born, you don't know nothing. But when you start looking for ways to learn, and when you're passionate about something, uh, things come. It's not easy. It's not easy. But I think you little by little you keep learning, and at the end of the day, hard work will take you to another level.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you're doing a great job. There's a lot of excitement going on. I appreciate you talking with me. I know you got to jump off, but thanks for taking the time, and let's talk again after David gets that
Yeah,
next victory.
I will let you know as soon as, like in about 2 weeks. I just want to let him rest. He had a hell of a camp, and I don't want to bother him. And like in 2 weeks, we'll get back, and you'll hear from David. And thank you so much for everybody's support. Thank you guys, and we'll be here working hard. We'll give you good fights.
Let me ask you quick before you go. Tank or Ryan?
It's a good fight, man. These are the fights that we want to see too, man. Um, I could only say that Tank has been active. Ryan, hell of a fighter. Uh, it's going to be a tough fight, man. If I knew who was going to win, I would bet money. But
You
I'm
don't
not
know.
betting because I don't know. But whoever wins, I'm going to be really happy, and they deserved it. They deserve that win. It's a good fight, man. And we want to see more of these fights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Fair answer, fair answer. All right, man. Thanks for talking with me.
Thank you.
All right, peace out.
With that.